Greetings, technology enthusiasts. I am Chandrahas and I am delighted to be here with you representing CyberBrainer. Do you not believe that the technology sector is advancing at an unprecedented rate, making this an opportune moment to acquire the skills that will facilitate your progress? With CyberBrainer, we are empowering you to take control of your own future. At CyberBrainer, we do not merely impart your interests. We assert that information is power, yet it is the application of knowledge that distinguishes you. Our courses are meant to equip you with essential skills, whether you are pursuing data science, understanding artificial intelligence, or delving into cybersecurity. Let us commence the session and seize the future today. Thank you.
Now dig in more into the Discovery Board Workspace. How the Discovery Board Workspace environment looks. For that we need to go to Workers Profile. And that we have to drive to access the Discovery Board. Here I think we have created one Discovery Board. I created a Discovery Board earlier. Let me create another one, a Discover Report. And let me name it BVLN. Discover Report. Let's create. Here we get this options. We also discussed on this options. What are the options are available? Let us switch between the tabs and understand here. If we see here, here's the panel for editing. First option, which is this one. This is a panel for editing visualization. The left side panel is where you navigate between the data source panel filter and configuration panel. This is the panel which they are referring to. Basically, this is a data source panel, from where we select what kind of data source it is. We can select Workday delivered data sources or the presumed data sources. Here if I search BDS, I won't get it because in this 3 dot, I have to go into this and to unselect this. Show only curated. What does curated does? The main function of curated is that it only shows the indexed data sources. Workday delivered indexed data sources, Workday delivered Integra data sources basically run faster than the usual ones. Basically, this is a preference for in a case where we have to build a discovery board which runs faster. There's no option available for it. If I don't uncheck it and search it, I won't get the PISM data sources. When I click on this one. Then you can see again in the VDS as here VDS employee review, which was published on 2 and 10, it is showing. Then that we can see all the published data sources from the appraiser mind. This is all the data source list. Let's select a basic used one worker for HCM reporting. Let's select this. Once we select it, in some of the Workday related data sources we also get prompts, default prompts, which come with the data source. Here they show us that please select the data source filters. Here what do is we will select all workers rather than giving some all active ones. And apart from it, there are other sheet. Prompts as which are, do you want contingent worker? Do you want an employee type? Worker type, include terminated workers, we just mentioned, include terminated workers, yes. Then nothing else, this is whole. This prompt will apply for whole sheet. It is a thing to note that if we select this particular thing, this particular data source will be applicable for this visualization only when we create one sheet and in that once we create a visualization, then we assign a data source set. Let's say if I add a visualization over here, I can assign a different data source as it's not that one data source is applicable for all the visualization and each. We can use multiple of them together. Once this is done, go to Builder panel. This is our data source panel where we select the data source. This is our Builder panel. Builder panel basically consists of all the fields which we generally use in a day-to-day basis. Here also the option is there that show only curated fields. Curated fields are indexed fields. That's why you can see that there are very limited options on a level. Let's say these are the drop downs. Let's say click on this. All the fields related to address and phone will come over here. Only one field is there for if I go to pay, if I go to name only. I will get a few fields, only worker, but let's say now what I will do is I will answer. I will click on this, I will get more option of it. Here you let's say see here the list has become very long as it was previously. If I now go to name, here I am getting this many fields from the name. Legal name, legal first name, name of the guest. That is the case. From here, this is a builder panel from where we can select it. With the field with numeric 1, what we can do is for this is a count. Count is counting the number of instances. Let's say when I create a table, I can count how many instances came in that particular. That I can pull it this sort. This is not any from work is in, this is from discovery, the absenteeism. Is that correct? Count doesn't. Sorry, can you repeat count as in? What does the count is counting here? Is it counting absenteeism? Yes, it is not counting absenteeism. It is counting the number of instances. Basically, it is an alphabetical order. That's why absenteeism is coming. But this is counting the number of instances. Let's say if I put this over here, it will count the number of rows. For that particular data, let's say the data if I mention worker and employee, and I put a count, it will count me how many results came in. Yes, I will just show you when I will just build it. It will be easy for you to understand this is count. Apart from it, there are other fields such as here there are certain fields in which we can do the average and sum as when I click on here, I click here. Here by default sum average maximum is coming. This is not from work design. It's not from data source and I'm getting this field. But I will be able to perform some average max. Mean field median field percentile from discovery percent. I don't need to manually do it from behind. It will automatically do it. Let's say if I want the average count of something. Average count of any particular field. I don't need to create any calculated fields in Workday first and then bring it over here. I can simply pull it over here and do it. But there's a catch. That as in which is the catch that you can only perform this on a field which are numeric or currency field. This is, you can see currency field dollar symbol is there which is a currency field because if there is a field which has 0, 1 in it, but let's say the field type is text, then I won't be able to perform it because it won't be able to read any text things into the calculation, which is very much genuine thing. If I open any other field, I won't be able to see that option, but I will be only able to see that option into the numeric and currency fields only. See, this is assigned one. I'm clicking over here. I'm getting count distinct. A count distinct is very different. Count distinct is in. It will be identifying the unique values of it. I will just come to the same point while we play around with that. How we can use it, or else we will confusion into it. Once it is a builder panel, here we can search the fields, and here are the fields which are updated into it. Apart from it, this is this panel. This panel is used for creating table and charts. When I click on it, I'll get all the options by which I can create a table and chart. These are the visualizations available: bar chart, line chart, area charts, country plot, heat map, API. Waterfall, then matrix report is this one: pivot table chart, donut chart, and advanced report table. Table is a normal table. These are the consultants for now which are currently available that we can create it. The mainly user tables: donut chart, pivot table, bar chart, line chart, KPI, scatter block. Heat map and waterfall are used, but it depends on the data that does. Your data has that particular elements into it by which we can create those visualization. Yes, this is the column where we try to drop it. Let's say if I want any particular thing, let's say one worker. Again, this drag and drop out here. Here it is. It makes the work very easy. Here, a drag and drop is a bit sometimes. It will hang a bit depending on your tenant. Configuration, but you just need to come over here, and when it comes in the below, you can see draw field. Here is coming now. It is coming to replace a worker. It's already there. Worker field, yes. Here you can see the list of worker came. And now when I click on this, and when I count distinct, it will be a wrong choice, but let me check it out if I can do it. I think it's still loading the data in the back. Thank you. Cover this thing in a later part, because currently it's lagging later part. As in when we cover how to use the field and create a visualization, we will do it. At that time only with a proper example. For now, we came to know that this is this part where we can do it. Then there's a filter and filter. What we can do is we can apply the filters on different fields. Here we can apply filters on when you click on this. We can expand panel to full width that we can see if we have multiple scenarios. Also, you can collapse it as and sheet filters. When I click on it, it will apply all the elements of the sheet. But it is to note that when you apply a sheet filter, it is important that let's say if I apply a filter over the country, then the country should be present in all the visualization under that sheet. Let's say here in sheet 1, there are 3 visualization vision 1 with 1, 2, 3, in that the number 3 doesn't have country built into it. Then the sheet filter will be applied only for vis 1 and vis 2, not for vis 3. Why? Because though I have mentioned sheet filter, but that particular with 3. Data source doesn't have a country field, in that case it won't work. That is a face filter. In this filter, when I click on it, I can create a nested. Fit as here is a filter I can add different and or conditions that if I want to match 2 conditions together, I can create and fills together and add a filter together, and if I want to match any of the filter condition, I can add or condition to it. Then I can make a nested filter, filter as nested filter as in, let's say, if the worker is from, let's say, if he is from Poland, then he should, then only the male female employee should come. But let's say if the worker is from USA, then only the male employee should come. This is what nested is, that if the first condition meets, then only the second condition should get triggered. Yes, that we can do it depending on the scenario. Let's say if we are considering few and employees, but the condition are different. In that, if you can use a nested filter groups. Basically, nested means what? Nested basically means that if a first condition meets, let's say we are creating a nest. Let's say if one condition is that at country equals to Honan, let me do it in Notepad. Yes, when country goes to Poland, if this condition meets, then we create a nest over here. Filter nest. One first nest is this one, that country. Country equals to Poland, then gender equals to male and female. This is I'm just giving it over UVR. We don't write query based upon this. Query is very similar to Workday's query, and when country is equals to USA, then gender equals to me. If this condition meets, then only gender this. We'll pull if this condition is written, only gender man. Here, if I run the report on overall basis, what I will do is I will get the population for Poland and country USA, and for Poland, I will get my male and female both, and for us, I will only get me. These are the kind of data which I will get. Any questions in this? No, I think it's yes. When you will try, we will get a better understanding of it when we practice it. It will be very much easy for you to understand. I can also remove it and move to visualization. As it depends on the move to this, as in this filter. Let's say move to this filter. It will automatically add it to wish filter and remove some shape filter here in wish. Filter also it works the same, exactly the same, no difference into the content. All the fields are available in the data source will come over here. Let's say if a country, location, address, country, I can select this. I will get all. The option is in the selection list channel, and I can select the country. Here also I can apply the filters, but on the vis level. There are some, I know that I have used different data source for each of the visualization, and I can basically apply specific filters for each of the visualization. Now coming to the configuration panel. Configuration panel basically comes up when we have our data into the visualization. It basically helps us in drilling the data. If we see its definition, if we see over here, configuration panel. Configuration. The detail is not available here, but the main purpose of the panel is to that. Main purpose of the panel is to configure the data that if I drill into it, I will be able to see the data into detail, cover those things when actually work on it. We're just going through on a macro level. Here we covered the point 2, which is the board title. Here's the board title. This is the builder panel. Then we see if we see the third thing here. Third option is the menu option for the board. And the fourth option is that whom we can share. It is the fourth option, and fifth option is to redo and undo option, how we can redo and undo our changes. And apart from it, next option is builder panel, which you already discussed. The builder panel, when we go into this panel, We go to Builder panel, see some options into it. Then seventh option is that. Seventh option is also data source used into it. What kind of data source we have to select it. Eighth option is the fill list. Here, when we click on the Builder panel, when we select a data source, get a list of fields which to select. Get a list of fields. 8 of 8 option is yes, 8 option we covered. Ninth option is the drop zone for creating the visualizations. Then 10 is the visualization over here that we can see our visualization. These are the 3 visualization which we created, and 11th option is the change, sheet control. The sheet control is, then we can name the sheet, sheet 1, sheet 2, and then we can also add the sheet and remove the sheet. Here also we can, if we click on this 3 linings. I'll be able to see the sheet in a least way here if I want to switch to multiple sheets. What I can do is I can scroll horizontally, but let's say if I don't want to, if there are too many sheets and it is confusing for me to scroll horizontally. What I can do is I can click on that particular option and I can see a drop-down list. And then 12th option, control panel is there, which is a control panel. When we want to create a filter and put it in on a control panel, I don't have to always go into the filter, this filter tab and do it. I can always control, I can. Those are the frequently used filters. If there are any filters which are frequently used, I don't want someone to make changes on in all the filters, but I just want them to play around on specific filters. Only then I can put them into that control panel. And the 14th option is for the view as options. That in US, 13 option is the view as options. And that we can see what other BEVS options are available. Matrix QS, chart, donut, scatterplot, waterfall. Then in 14th option is we get select the dual modes. What we want to keep in y-axis, what we want to keep in x-axis. Do we want to create 2 y-axis? How we want to do it. Then on 15 there is a mark type. For visualization only get a mark type. Let's say if we created a bar chart do we want in a y-axis way or x-axis way? That we'll also discuss. In that the bar will be if we select axis, y-axis, then the bars will be vertical. If you select axis, the bar will be horizontal. Then the 16 option is the back to drive button. The 16 option will go back to the drive. And it is very important that always save your work once you complete with any creation. Because sometimes the things may also get refreshed and your work might also get lost. It is important to save it. Otherwise it will finish off. Discuss on creation of the discovery board. To create a discovery board, first of all, as I told you, I need to first of all select the I. Just miss the formatting panel. Formatting panel is also when we render sheet will. You will select how you want to format it, basically to add the colors. And all once we do it, we will be able to discuss this thing into the detail, any doubt here, and any of the thing which explained on a macro level will touch base each topics in detail as by building it. But still, if you are not able to understand any particular topic, I think I'm good. But here let's go with one of the basic ones. For let's say here I want I will. Go not with the advanced table, but what I will do is I will put 8 bar chart and here it is asking me for the orientation as in do I want a vertical bar or horizontal bar and how the grouping should be. It should be cluster or It should be stake or it should be a stake of 100. These are other type of things which I can use. Then what I want to put in my axis, what I put the XSS and what the color is. Let me go here and build a visualization that I total base pay amount. Yes, what I will do is I will click the sum. I will put the sum over here. When I here, all the thing is a drag and drop. Drag and drop makes things very easy. It will also vary out of things which are not used for you. Very beneficial for you. Then use location, address, country. When I let's say pull this file and put over here, it's either asking put in X axis and Y. Axis of accesses or color. Let's say put in X axis. The press or more resolute contains multiple currency types. It has multi-currency types. We can go to filter and here we can mention that the currency should be here, country should be all euros or let's say the local. Waste pay currency. Let's see if you're getting a currency. Total base pay currency is in list. Let's give euro. Now we are good. Here you can see we got a bar chart ready for us. Let me expand this. Or make this little bigger. Yes. Yes, this is anything which we got here. That what are the options earlier? Here I can name the visualization as. I can mention that pay by rent. Total base pay I come. I'll just save it that it doesn't get the interface. Our data doesn't get. Finished off, I can here also. What I can do is I can also rename this particular thing where we can rename it. Let's say if I don't want to name it sum as total base pay, I can go over here. Or let's say I want to change the name of the sum of the total again. Go to formatting. When I get to formatting here, it is asking me for currency. Currency or custom, but it's a currency for me. Then the value, do I want value in negative? I will select. I won't select negative. Why? Because the currency can't be in a negative. Someone's total base pay can't include the negative way if it has negative. I can select in a negative. Let's say there's a field type which has a negative field into it. It will select that one. You can select that one. Then how many decimals do you want? The data for, let's say I don't want any decimals over here. I don't want decimal, I can do it for 0. In display unit, I want 1000, million, billion, trillion. I can in X 1000. Here it will include the separators, the comma based upon the separators. Also, do I want to include a currency symbol as I can select or unselect it. This option depends on this. What are the field types? Is a currency field. That's why it is asking. Here I can see the sample as I have selected. If I unselect this, that include currency symbol and check it here at the currency. Symbol will go off. This all depends on my configuration. Here again, since I can see the sample, it's not that I have to always do the things and run the report here. The functionality is good that I can test it, what it will look here. Let's say include separators for thousands. If I remove it, the separators won't be there. But if I click out, it will give me separators with the thousands. I give apply. Once it's give apply here, you can see that the data is very much clear. The decimals have went off. Now this name is very not appropriate to read. Someone won't be able to read it. If someone's from management, it will be tough for them to read it. I will do is I will go to field options from here and I can rename it. Whatever me and renaming, I will rename in this total base pay, I remove the sum. I should totalize and I am assuming that total is their sum only. Take, we apply. Once I do the changes, that same changes will reflect over here. Same for the country. I can go to country, I can go to field option. Here you can see for country. The formatting option is not available because it's an instance field, the formatting. Option will only come for a field which it supports. For if it's not coming, that means it's not supporting for it. I go to field option here, the location address is. Country is there, I can remove it, I can make it. Apply and I will save it. Here you can see the bar chart looks very clean to us. Which was it? Previously, here we have always an option. If I go to formatting, it's got refresh. Let's say now we are into discovery boards. We have already created discovery boards. It's a good thing that it got refreshed. I will be able to explain that. It refreshed. Now if I want to access the builder panel, I won't be able to do it. Why it is giving me a sheet? Least I have to go to edit. And after to go to edit, I have to click on this builder panel. And then only I will get these options. If we don't do that, we are into view mode. We are into view mode. View mode enables us only to see the things and not to modify the discovery board. Once we change it, let's say I go to field option and I want to reset to default, I can also do the reset to default as, let me cancel. And here we created the bar chart and now we want to change the orientation of it. Here it's vertical. Let's say I want to do a horizontal way. I can give horizontal as. In that way, all the dimension will change. X-axis, which was a total base pay, which was in y-axis. It went to the x-axis. And now we are able to see the data in this format. If I click on this and I want to stake it with one-on-one, if the data is there, let's say if there are multiple data in x-axis, total base pay clubbing, with anything else, I can club it with this here as it will stake it. Over the base pay apart from it, let's say I want to 100. Stake all things will be max but 100% only. All thing values will be same, but when you hover over a thing, I'll be able to see the total base pay here. Once it 1, 7, 6, 10 is there. Here 2, 7, 6 is there. Here 1, 3, 0 is coming. Depending on the scenarios, I will be using these things. Apart from it, let's say I want to use the same thing into a line chart. Level to do it. Yes, in line set also, I will be able to see this working. But you can see in line chart, I'm not getting any other options, which I was getting into bar chart. Then here in optional, let's say here I want to put in colors also. Colors is what? When I put this, this basically shows us in detail about the things. Basically, supervisory organization gives us colors. Basically, these are the bifurcations. I will be able to understand the One supervisors, one column. Yes, column is same. But here we are. We will be able to see that this particular thing, this particular supervisor organization doesn't in which one. Let me put it in this way. Yes, the grouping has been done this, that this is Austria is there, France is there. France has been divided into different organisms supervising organization. If I click on this green one, I will get super business service consulting. Rather than I go on this, I will be able to see a call center friends group. Then I go to for pink one. I will be able to see consulting services. Fry group. Furthermore, what it did is it break down the countries based upon the support, and which I can see over here. Let's say if I want to only see the call center, this one I'll be. The particular bar will get highlighted, and let's say if this particular other is there, other is present in everyone, that will be highlighted over there. Why is it the other one? Other ones are basically here. The limitations are there that we can't. I mean, there should be a particular limit to it. Let's go. In field option, it won't be there. But other one is basically the rest which are not covered into it. Basically, there will be some limitation for the chart. It won't be able to present every data here. That is why it will pull the miscellaneous, supervise the organization. In this one, let's say it will show us only the top 2 or top 3 or top 5. Option over here, and the rest is going to be summarizing to the others. Yes, correct. In others, if I click on this other, it is showing me others, but it is summarizing them. Others will consist of the rest of the one. For a better picture, what I can do is I can add a filter and filter. I can mention one biggest runs. If we location, I'm just trying that. If we narrow down the search, are we getting the other super as? Let's see here, the other option has went off. You can see there's no any other option. Previously it was coming. Why? Because you can see the number of this super org was very small, 34K, 43K. Here we can't see any other one. If I scroll this one, I'm not seeing any other options. Because now, the data was too much. What it does is, if data is more, it will summarize that fields, which is small. Small fields are there. It will summarize it. It will work out of it. But let's say if I remove it here, if I want to remove it, what I can do is either I can determine here what I can move is here I can move to sheet, remove it, or disable it. Let's say I don't want to remove it completely, but I want to disable it temporarily. I can disable it. Let's say if I disable it, the whole data will be gray enough. But still this filter will be there, not working, but it will be there. Let's say I want to do it. Working, I can enable it. Likewise, if I create a control link, I explain to the control link that if we want to don't use any filter on a regular basis, or we want to use a filter on regular basis, but we don't want to go into the filters, you can see this control panel only is France, and it doesn't have total base pay currency because we have limited that it only uses a filter option for only country and not for rest of the time. The filter which applies over here for France, we can same do it from here as got. Any confusion in understanding the controls? I think you can change France, for example, for a country Germany. Yes, I don't have to. The person doesn't have to go into this option all the time. That person doesn't have to go to filter options, and they can do from here only. How will it look? Let me give a save and then show it to you. Now it's collapsed, and this is also collapsed. And now we are not into editing mode, we are just into the view mode. Now let's say I want to now. Let's say we want to do the working of it. We want to apply this. We want to apply the changes here. Here we are selected France. Now what we do to go this control, and now I can select I don't have to go to filter over. Here I can do here Germany. I can select multiple of them. I will do one at a time review Germany, and I will move France, and now it will run for that France. But what this controls, the main purpose of this control is that it restricts the end user. Because we are configuring this as a developer, it restricts end user not to tweak with all the other filters. There are chances that we might have include multiple filter conditions, that the currency, the total base price should be, a currency should be euro. It should be greater than this particular thing. Certain countries should be excluded into it. That we get that. All the filter conditions will be added over here, and it might be a case that the end user, mostly the end user for this is the person who are into the management, who are, let's say, VPs or CO, CTO or any of the management. They don't have any technical expertise of these filters. They don't understand nested group and condition, what are the conditions are. But this control simplifies for them. Let's say here 10 filters are there, but we only want to make them aware only this 2 country and another filter. We can do that accordingly. You basically give them access and they can change it. Location, country, how they want to see it. But if you want to save this in the Excel spreadsheet, it's not going to work anymore because Excel only will have the results. The pictures and data maybe. Yes, it won't work in the other format because basically here, this gives us flexibility in Discovery Board. It's inbuilt in Discovery Board function, we won't be able to do that, but we can download this. But let's say I can add description as mentioned, but here we can make a duplicate of it and download as a png. Png is in photo format. Let's say if I want this particular thing, chart download into png format, I can do it. I can use this in my presentation as, let's say I created this. I did an analysis on total base for my country and I want to be included in my presentation. What I will do is I can't. Rather than taking the screenshot, I will just do over here and download Speng. Once I do it, I won't be able to download it. Let's see if we are able to download it. See, we are getting this option. Chart is coming over this. This we can utilize it and we can paste this in the presentation that it will be useful for us. But it's better to give them the access to the discovered one. Exact. Presentation is basically for very mass field. Let's say there's a company which there's a town hall and they want to inform their employees, all the employees, that what was the performance of the organization the past year. They won't give them access to their discovery boards, but they want to also let the employees know how they perform. They can build the discovery board here and then they can download a PNG and include into a presentation. Because if they give access to each and every employee to discovery boards, first of all, discovery board will crash because too many workers. If people are working on the same product, it might hamper the performance of it. Apart from it, they might also come across additional information about worker organization's financials. These are options available. Apart from it, this option which we covered, here we can see the table as this all thing will be a tabular format. Here table visualization can only contribute. Remove any attribute from summarization. Here this table contains attribute fields. This is basically restricting it from doing it. Let's try removing a supervisor organization. Maybe it will work, or we have to remove this only. If the field is peculiar restricted to it, it will be total base pay amount. For reporting to currency format now will be here. For table we have to use another field. You can see the field is names. That this is only used for reporting purpose. Now we can use this same field and let it. I think I won't be able to use it, or what? Here also we get this data over here in this format. We can do the thing. This is based upon an update. If I go to donut, let's say donut won't work for this data types, but this data type will only work for the bar cuts. Now what do is shift this to y-axis. Here if I don't select anything, let's say if I give country, then it will give me. Discount 4 to 6. What is this? How many employees are present in that country? Will by default give it to me. Let me pull that back. Why I am not able to find the same field? It's only curator fields with mark. Now I will get it for the display. Here I am getting this euros and all. Now I will go switch to the other one. Line chart, will call it area chart. Area chart basically shows into the area format. It's similar to line chart only, but will fill the below things. Area chart also comes with a stake and a stake 100. If we have multiple reporting in the same, it will stick two things together. It will also have same attributes. Now scatter plot. Scatter plot is the very different concept. Basically, scatter plot is scattering the data. Scatter plot. We need that data that will explain how the scatter plot works. If I explain you in on Google scatter plot chart, what does scatter plot means? Scatter plot basically is a dotted fields on a chart which will explain what are the key metrics offered. Let me here, if I say if I have a scatter plot for height and weight. Here it seems that if someone's height is low, then their weight will be also low. But if someone's height is more, then their weight is also more. Here I can see the trends. You can see, I can see the trends. Here I can see. There is no anyone that the height is too much. The height is he's very tall, but his weight is very less. Scatter plot basically makes us understand that someone's height is also increasing and weight is also increasing. And there are different types of scatter plot as different type as in. Basically, it depends on the data only. But this is more accurate data. In this is very here, see, it is mentioned strong, moderate and weak. Weak as in. There is no particular trend we are able to see. This is the interpretation. This is not actual scatter plot, but this is interpretation. If this is showing a particular flow, it is a strong scatter plot, but if it is scattered everywhere a little bit, it is considered as moderate. If it is completely scattered, it is a weak scatter plot fact, but the best. Example is this one, there is someone's height is increasing and weight is also increasing. We can assume that height and weight are proportional to each other. If height is increasing, weight will also increase, or weight will increase, height will. Vice versa. Basically because not vice versa. But if there's a height is more, then the weight will also more. It's not that someone is taller and its weight is very less. It's a correlation somewhere. Exactly. Basically, the correlation may not be there directly, but it will make us understand what are the correlations actually exist in that. Then it will also, here we can see the performance of, here we can see based upon the country, that what are the average performance and month of employment. If someone who has 45 months of employment, his performance is more. Here we can see a trend that the more the people older are, their performance is more. These are the month of employment and this is average performance. We can see that the new joiners don't have any high performer, the old employer. Employees have only high performance. There are low performance as but for Canada only. Now what I can do is I can see the trend that here the blue dot is for United States and red dot is for Japan. I know that here I can see that for USA and Japan. The high performers are there in the who are older employees. But for Canada there are no high performers. Now I can create my strategy in a way for older employees that they can be a high performer. I can give them some training. I can give some solution. If there's any issue they are facing, I can solve it out from here. This basically helps in strategizing and it very high level understanding of any particular thing. As I mentioned, for this we need that data, which will help us in doing that we can achieve it by maybe, let's say, doing it part chart and saving it. Let me give it the age. If we get, basically it will. Require the field types to in order to show it. For now, for this particular logic, we are not able to build it, as we can see that the data should be in that way that we can reflect it, that you can do a trial and error. But basically, I will just give an overview how we can use those things and what are the concepts of it. Here we covered a scatter plot. Now heat map. Heat map is also very similar to not similar, but it has very different functionality. I'll show heat map chart. Heat map basically shows, it highlights the color. Let's say if I want to heat map for a particular chart, let me open a particular example. This is an example of heat map. It is based upon country, but we can also apply based upon numerics, as here the heat map is based upon the temperature. The temperature is more into the lower region of USA. This is a map of USA. Here we can see that in USA the lower regions are more hot and the east coast and west coast are completely very cold. And the center part or the top center part. But it's basically a moderate. It has moderate one. This is heat map basically shows, this is in terms of temperature. You can also see in terms of the charting as, Let me pull an example for it. See here, the top smartphone rating is there. This heat map has been created by top smartphone rating. Top smartphone, the models are there. And top smartphone ratings are there. Here we can set a limit that. If it's more than 9, it's best. If it's less than 9, it should be average. It should be average. And red is bad. These are the criteria. Basically, Samsung has a processor rating is 8.7. It's good. But it's 8.5 of screen size 8.5, it's average. Then it's prices is very good, battery backup is good, but camera is also 8 by this eye. We'll be able to understand it on a basis. Now visually basis I will be able to understand. See, Nokia Lumia has the best rating far. I can understand because it is majorly. It is green, this is green. Processor is good, screen size is good, price is good, better, but camera it lacks. I'll be able to understand it. Everyone has two things which are missing here. Only one thing is bad. I can take decision accordingly for me. Heat map is according that if some rating is very bad, it will turn red. This is what? This is how the heat map would work. It's up to me what kind of matrix I want to keep it. Based upon that, it will show me the heat map. Heat map also, I need that. I want that. I want that particular matrix basically. Data to showcase that. Now go to select a KPI over here. KPI is just, it will show a test number. It's nothing much. Let me put sum of average or here what I did is KPI. KPI is enough. KPI as it in symbol shows, it only shows us the number KPI. The KPI is, let's say, if someone is you're aware of YouTube. You might be surfing YouTube. Yes, in YouTube, that there are many YouTube creators, content creators, tracks their number of services. Subscribers, how many people are following them. The more the number, the more it will be achievement for them. It is very similar for them. It's a PI, which is a matrix, but that will be able to analyze it. People generally also keep this for age to understand how our organization is. Here what I did is I did an average age. Average age denotes that my organization is very young because the average age of my organization is 22. If it is increasing, I can understand that my organization is growing old and my organization has more old people and less young people, that I can strategize and I can take decision accordingly. Let's say if this P shows 60, that is concerning for me because the age of retirement is very near and the company also needs to pay their retirement if there is any particular rule that you need to pay the retirement. For that, to limit it, I can, and the organization is aging, I can recruit new hires and I can compensate it accordingly. Pi is nothing, it's just a key. Matrix, it just shows the number, it is also similar. If I go to formatting here, I can change the formatting as number, percentage a custom, whatever I want. Here let's say you custom. Custom is, I can search some custom things I can here this is decimal, I can only name it here that I want only this format, it will give me in this format. Let's say I don't want 00. I can go to formatting. I know age should. Sure, it shouldn't be more than 100. I can remove this one. I will give This option is not available at the moment. Check us. Here this 2 option is there. I can pull it. I can do it this because the maximum age is 100. I can do it this that out of 100 the average age is 22. This is how it looks. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel.